Oh, hey y'all, it's Krypton Critics. Here to review the new film Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder. Some scenes and different things connecting different parts of the movie are done by Joss Whedon. This is due to Zack Snyder having lost one of his daughters. Rest in peace. But aside from that, but very tragic. And I do really mean that. I don't mean that in any joking way. But let's talk about the movie that has been released and surely will make a shit ton of money. And because I love Justice League and all the characters so much, I got make sure got a Batman comic for you to see. Wonder Woman, a Flash, a Superman, and Aquaman. I do not have a Cyborg comic. There are not that many. I think he's only had a run like in the past 4 years. I do have like a graphic novel with him in the original 80, well, not the original, but the 80s version of the Teen Titans. But nevertheless, this film stars Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. You got Jason Momoa as Aquaman. You got Ezra Miller as the Flash. Cyborg is played by Ray Fisher. Steppenwolf is played by Saran Hines. Lois Lane is played by Amy Adams. Martha! Why'd you say that? Is played by Diane Lane. Alfred is played by Jeremy Irons. And Hippolyta is played by Connie Nielsen. So, this does take place in the expanded DC universe. I know technically they don't want it to be called that, but fuck it, I'm calling it that. It's the DCEU, no matter what you say. But this movie did come, some of my qualms with the previous films in the series. So we've got Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and this one. Wonder Woman before in this previous year had been my favorite. This one is close to being tied for me. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of fun with this, but it does come a little shorter for me in comparison. So right off the bat, I can say that this is definitely a recommend for me. I think there's a lot of people that have been a bit too hard on this movie. I think it's very fun, funny, has a lot of tender moments, and you already know it's action packed. Plenty of Zack Snyderisms of slow mo and boom and all that type of crap. So let's get into more spoilery territory. So the villain is Steppenwolf. A lot of us kind of wanted to be Darkseid, but this is kind of like the step before. Maybe they need more members before they can try to go against someone like Darkseid. I did not want to see Lex Luthor as the villain because that's one of the things I really did not like about Batman vs Superman. It's not just because he's so different from the version of the comics and previous movies. I just didn't like the dude. I guess I'm not supposed to, but it just felt really off-putting. Another thing that he does, Lex Luthor does, he is name dropped several times throughout the main film, and make sure you stay for after credits because he shows up, and so does Deathstroke, played by Joe Manganiello, who I have not seen in a lot of movies, but I have seen him before. I remember he was a Flash Thompson in the early 2000s Spider-Man franchise. My favorite character, hands down, in this movie is Flash. Flash, I connect with him. I mean, not explicitly because unlike him, I do have some friends and I'm not as socially awkward as he is. You know, he is more of an exaggerated version of that, but he does get a lot of sympathy. He, in my opinion, he has the most entertaining lines. You know, just from, you know, having Gutbusters, he made me laugh a lot in this movie. He is definitely one of the characters that, you know, adds a lot. I feel like this movie would be lacking without him here. But not to say there aren't, you know, good back and forths between the Justice Leaguer characters. Like, there's some good back and forth between Cyborg and Flash. Like, before, when they're trying to dig up the body of Superman who had died in BBS because Doomsday stabbed him. It's nice to have him back, but at the same time, I also don't like to be reminded that Doomsday and how badly he was done. Yeah. If you want to see me talk about more BBS, I'll make sure to probably have it linked in this video. But just there was so many great fighting sequences. I love the one with Wonder Woman. I believe she was in Paris and she was preventing bombing from happening. The whole end attack was in Eastern Europe, where Steppenwolf had his army of parademons. That was just amazing to me. I liked the feel of when there was attack of Atlantis, because it makes you feel like you are really stuck underwater. And the water is also like dirty, it has like a bunch of specks everywhere. I'm like, okay, that's a nice detail. And I was kind of wondering if, you know, they would speak while they were just completely surrounded by water. But Mera, who I don't know what kind of relationship she has to Aquaman in this movie, because they don't seem to have any affection in the comics. They become, you know, married and have a kid, but I don't know. But she makes like a air bubble around them so they can speak. Batman is, you know, always a badass, not just as, you know, fighting, and he has the best tech. He has like this weird robot crab, and he has a new specialized plane that he gets the League back and forth to wherever they need to go. But, you know, Bruce Wayne is always suave and will, you know, do anything that needs to be done. And this movie does help me finally decide that my favorite on-screen Batman is Ben Affleck. And you know, Ben Affleck Batman was definitely the thing that I liked the most in BVS, and he is one of the things that I really like in this movie, because it definitely goes a lot more into his psyche. Like, before, most of what we got was, you know, he has very paranoid nature. You know, of course we have the backstory about passing of his parents being shot by Joe Chill, and the fact that he has a very ideal of, if there's a chance of something happening, then we had to do everything to make sure it doesn't. You know, he's very into that future, you know, terror attacks. If there's a chance, you have to take it, no matter what. He doesn't believe in, you know, letting any shit slide. And it's convenient for him because, you know, he has like a shit ton of money. He's a billionaire, and he's a genius, and he can, you know, it's like every form of martial arts there is on the planet. But it does show his side of how, you know, he is getting older. Like, Ben Affleck's Batman is like between 45 and 47, and he gets hurt. He doesn't have powers like everyone else. And I feel like he could probably like make a better suit and have like foam cushioning, but you know, he's still got to work the kinks around. You know, not everyone can get that down. Maybe he needs help from Tim Gunn. I don't know. But yeah, there might be a thing between him and Wonder Woman. And I'm totally down for that because they are both these actors like give it their all, and as I'm watching it, I start forgetting that who these actors are. There's large sections of the movie that I forget that's Ben Affleck. I'm just like, that's Batman, no question in my mind. He really does change for the role, and whenever an actor can do that, that's always amazing to see. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if in Justice League Part 2, I guess what they're calling it, that him and Wonder Woman start hitting it off. I see strong potential for good chemistry. But Batman also has a problem of not only being injured and being older, but he doesn't feel accomplished because yeah, he's a shit ton of money in business, but he is so he has the man-child effect of sticking with the hero persona and not really doing much anything else. Like he becomes so obsessed with being the badass and just having one night stands. They have like a suggestive joke with him and Alfred. Alfred, is great as always. And he's also unmarried, and he says that he wants to be a little bit more like Superman. Contrary from the last time we saw them in the same movie, but that shows character growth, and I'm like, yay, we have character growth. And I was even happier to see character growth from my boy Superman. I was so happy to see him actually act like Superman. It was beautiful, man. They had the John Williams score. His suit was just bright colors. He was hopeful. He was smiling a lot more. I didn't see him kill or unintentionally kill any people. I'm like, yes. And he had great lines of dialogue with humor. And I started shedding a tear because it's just like I've been waiting for this, ever since I saw Man of Steel. Just that movie, ironically, he wears a symbol of hope, but watching Man of Steel, and I recently did watch it again, so I did give it another chance, but it sucked the hope out of me for that character. I love this character, and I didn't feel like previously he was done justice, but in Justice League, he does get justice. Yes. So let's keep on with that. Let's try to forget any of that other mopey shit happened, and just start putting that aside, and I'll be a happy camper. There's a whole plot about the mother boxes, and one's in Atlantis, one's on Themyscira. We have a pretty decent fight in Themyscira and Atlantis. The only problem was, quickly become disoriented by just how much shit is being thrown in your face. Like, okay, that's happening. Horse is knocked over. Okay. Oh shit! Damn it. But they need to combine the mother boxes so they can have the MacGuffin power and have the unity. I did like my boy. Other than Flash, who was hilarious, I did get some enjoyment. I'm still a little awkward with him, but my boy Aqua Bro. And there's a reason I say that because he talks like straight surfer bro in this movie. And also nice to see, not just one minority character. We have a cyborg, and we have Aquaman, who is played by a man of, Eastern Islander wait, Pacific Islander, sorry, Pacific Islander descent. Uh, we bumped into Zod's ship, I believe on the border of Metropolis and Gotham, where all the shit went down BVS to bring Superman back to life. I'm not sure if it's Jesus-like. It might be. Zack Snyder is not known to have comparisons with Jesus and Superman in the past. You know, there was a Spear of Destiny in BVS, and he literally goes to a church and goes in the cross position before he takes down Zod. But yeah, there's so much great about this movie. There was also a really great scene. Probably one of my favorites that was not in the later half was in the tunnel when they're taking down parademons, and Cyborg, who was tortured by after he was in the accident and now he feels like a freak. He is helped by the Leaguers to protect his father and go against Steppenwolf. Probably the weakest thing about this movie is, Steppenwolf, like, he has nothing as a character. Like, he has like a few like decent lines that are like, okay, that's kind of badass, but why are you doing this? Like, I'm the comic book nerd, and I don't even know what he's really doing other than collecting these mother boxes so he got power. That's it. But yeah, after oh shit, the Steve Trevor line, that made me like go like this, like watching the movie. Oh shit, there was like a tense moment between mostly Wonder Woman and Batman. I still will ship them. There was also a great scene where Superman first comes back to life and he just starts beating shit out of everyone. He even surprised Flash when he beats him up. Cyborg says "booyah" at the end. After Flash had said, after grave robbing to get Superman back and putting him in Zod's ship to bring him back to life, and they didn't fist bump Cyborg and Flash. They do at the end. I think at one point Flash said, it's because of racial tension. I love that shit. It's quick aside. Probably a lot of people didn't like catch it. I was kind of like hoping, not hoping, that Superman would come in like a black suit of black goo and have a mullet like he did when he came back after being killed by Doomsday in the 90s. Oh, no. Just kidding. But there's so many scenes where I felt like I was getting choked up, but how much excited or like nerdtastic it was. Also the relationships like between Flash and his father. That was damn good. And how can you not love the first post-credit scene where Superman and Flash are going to race each other? That was fucking amazing. And seeing Superman pull out the S shield while he's in the city, just so much. Another thing just about the production, putting aside Joss Whedon, I'm not going to start any bullshit fighting that, he did 2 Marvel movies, now he's editing, and now the movie. No, I'm not doing that shit. That's fucking immature and stupid. Don't do that shit. But there are a few scenes where you can tell where Henry Cavill's mustache was digitally removed. The only one that it was obvious for me is when he first came back to life. There's a few shots where his lips should be redder, but they're more pale. Kind of makes me wonder if there was a few hairs that would like go over the lip and digitally remove it, and they would forget to make the lips redder. That could just be me. It could be the lighting, but that's what I thought I saw. But but overall, this movie makes me a lot more excited. It makes me have a lot more faith in what how DCU is moving along. One Woman added a lot, but at the same time, it was very removed and put in the past, and it goes back to the director that had shaky views on the previous. But this movie right here, puts a lot more faith. I'm happy to see what's going to happen next. Uh, I'm still not on the side of Lex Luthor. I still don't like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, but I really enjoy this movie. I'll give this movie a B plus. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and I suggest any DC fan, any comic fan, hell, even Marvel fans, even Marvel, that antagonize each other. Fucking stop with that shit. But Spider-Man Critics, I love you, and see you next time.